My fog lights aren't working. It's not always the bulb. Check this out. Look at this electrical connection. Come back here. You can see where it's rubbing against. Hey, Can't Let Her Die DIY here. My fog lights aren't working. Is that your problem? Okay, here's the fog light. Right here's the electrical connection to the fog light right there. And there's the bulb that goes inside there. If you look at this electrical connection, come back here. You can see where it's rubbing against right there, rubbing against the housing here, and has broken one of the wires. So that is the reason why this fog light is not working. It's not the bulb, it's the wire. So I'll disconnect it here, and I'll get that wire up there and replace that wire. Just comes off there. If you lift up that lip, now we should be able to get this off. Turn it that way and pull it out. There it is. I can't believe that this wire worked its way outside of this protective housing here, the plastic. There's a little crack there, and somehow that worked its way on the outside, and then it's been bending right here and starting to fray the wire. This one's actually broken. This is the one that was inside, and this one is near broke. So I'm gonna just cut this zip tie. Oh my gosh, this thing's dull. To expose the wire so that I can work with them. There it is. Okay. And I'm gonna fix both of them. Okay, with your wire stripper, it appears to be 18 gauge wire on here. Go around twice and then pull. Just like that. Heat shrink tubing goes over there, up like that, butt to butt contact with heat shrink covering on it. We get that on there like that. We crimp it with our 22 to 18 gauge, so it's the red, it's color coded on this crimping tool. Right there, since it's 18 gauge wire, like that. We'll apply heat later, and it'll shrink all that shrink wrap around there and make a really good waterproof contact. And we do the same to both sides. And now with your torch, you shrink the shrink wrap. And tape it. After you get the wires tucked inside there, tape it up so they never come out again. And that is a good fix. And it gives it extra protection from rubbing and that sort of thing. And extra water protection. And that should be it. Now let's get the bulb in there. And the bulb that you need, 9045, 45 watts, 12 volts. And I like to put a little bit of dielectric grease on the seal to prevent water from getting in there and ruining your bulb. And it also helps with getting this back on. It's nice and slippery, and it'll slide and rotate easier. Okay, so the bulb, you just manipulate it in there, and then you rotate it 45 degrees, and it should lock in. It's a tight fit though, so you gotta be careful. Like that, and then you rotate it, and it locks in. And you want it facing this way because you don't have a lot of room with this wire here. And click. One more thing, because both wires were exposed, one was actually broken and the other one was exposed, those wires could have blown in the wind. They could have touched each other. If they did, it would cause the fuse to break, the fuse to blow. So we're going to check out our fuses. There's the battery compartment This is the fuse box. It's usually located right close to the battery. We got 2 tabs like this on either side. You squeeze them together. You should be able to get this cover up. And on the underside of the cover, I think you guys know this, but some of you may not, we have a little template of what's going on here. If you look right there, it says fog lamp 15. So it's right next to these 2 big relays. So if you look down here, you got your 2 big relays, and right there is a 15 amp. That blue one, I think that might be the culprit. You got to check to make sure that's not blown. So this yellow thing right here is a fuse puller. Comes with the truck. So I'm going to pull that out. And that helps you pull these fuses. It's kind of cool. You just squeeze it on like that. You squeeze it and you pull that right out. Now let's check this bad boy. Aha. It's a broken fuse. See that inside there, filament is separated. That's a blown fuse. So those wires touched each other, caused a surge. It blew the fuse. Surge of more than 15 amps. And that's why both my fog lights do not work. So you got to check the bulbs. It could be a bulb, it could be a wire, exposed wire, rubbing, it could be a broken wire, and that could cause a blown fuse as well. Let's get the new one in there. And right in there. Just like that, baby.